Den.
Здравейте!
And welcome back to our little Bulgarian adventure.
Well, as the week's gone on, it's got colder.
Yes, it's definitely got colder, but we've had plenty of sunshine still.
Yeah, a little bit of rain, but on Wednesday. We started the week this week, not with the weather, but with guests.
Yes, lots of guests. It's the most people we've ever had in our house since we've been here.
Yeah, luckily they didn't all have dinner, otherwise we wouldn't have had enough plates.
Our first visitors were Anne and Bruce, a couple who found us on YouTube.
Yes, and they brought us much needed provisions.
Yes, they did bring the 3 M's.
Mustard.
Marmalade.
And Marmite.
Which was much appreciated. Thank you so much. It was lovely to meet you.
It was, yes, we had a lovely afternoon. And we also had Ivan and Teresa here with Dexter.
Yes, they popped in to see us on the way down to a job in the southeast.
So that was our busy Saturday.
Yeah, Friday.
Sorry, that was our busy Friday.
Yes, they stayed overnight, and the next day we had our worst weather of the week.
We did, yes. A weather front swept across not just our region, but most of Bulgaria.
Yeah, it did cause some devastating damage in some parts of Bulgaria. Whole villages were demolished.
Oh, roofs taken off, all sorts. It was quite serious.
Yeah, I think there's been an emergency area declared there.
Yeah. We were remarkably unscathed. Because the wind was coming from the west and we're quite sheltered from that direction, it seemed to pass right over us, but we did get the rain.
We got torrential rain.
We got rain so heavy we couldn't see the field opposite our house.
Yeah, just a blanket rain, wasn't it?
We lost our power. Luckily we have torches.
Yeah.
But it did give me a chance to get up in the loft and see where the water comes in.
Yes, ever since Adam's put the loft ladder in, we've been waiting for a bit of a torrential downfall.
Oh boy, did we have one.
Yeah, to see where it was coming through.
So the good news is the wall I built stood up to the test. No water came through there. There was a bit around the chimney, a bit near the front door, but our main area, as I alluded to in a previous video, was around the ridge tiles.
Yeah, so they're definitely a job that needs doing.
Oh yes. Yes, we were running around by torchlight trying to find every bucket we could to catch the drips. But
yeah, because it was really dark. Although it started about midday here, it was incredibly dark.
So luckily it only lasted about half an hour before it passed over us. But yes,
no great damage was done.
We got away remarkably lightly.
Yeah.
So
I think Ivan and Teresa on their journey down south seemed to drive through most of it.
Yes.
I think they had 3 hours, including a bit of aquaplaning and all sorts of things.
Can't have been pleasant. So.
That must have been a horrific journey.
But they did get there safely.
They did.
So don't worry.
And then we went on. We've had sunshine the rest of the week.
Yes, apart from a little bit of rain on Wednesday.
Yeah, and that was just a light rain shower.
Sunday and Monday, I put my car to the test. It felt like a competition to see just how much stuff can you get into an Audi estate. I picked up the materials for doing the dog shelter. At both places, as I was loading stuff into the back of the car, I could see the employees there kind of going, "Oh, is it going to fit? Is it going to fit?" Well, it did. And once I got back with all the materials, this is what I did with them. So we've now brought in the bits we need to build the framework of the new kennels, along with the bottom panel that's going to support the insulation underneath the floor. So the next job for us to do is bolt it all together. So we've now dug some holes for the legs to go into of the kennels. We've put gravel at the bottom. We're going to use that to be able to level up the heights because the ground isn't even here, which well, it's not even many places in fairness. So what we'll do then is we'll put the kennels framework into the holes, get a spirit level, see which is too high, which is too low, and adjust with gravel. Once they're pretty level, they'll be ready to fill up with concrete and set into position. Now, it's not likely to move anywhere, these kennels. they're already very heavy without any cladding on them. So once they're in place, they'll stay in place. But this is just to give them a kind of a waterproof base and to protect the legs. You ready?
Yep.
About there.
Okay.
Ready to come up?
Ready? When I pull it back, it's going to drop.
Yeah.
Swap it down. Ah. Well, it's not in. Like all the way. We want to shift it a bit more this way.
See if you can take it a bit towards you. Get dragging against the wall, that's the problem.
Then he's gone.
You come to your side, that's my side. I'll try and bring it. Ready? Now while I'm waiting for the concrete to set around the feet of the kennel, I can't do any more work on it until it has set, but what I can do is start preparing the wood. Now this is the wood I've got for the cladding, also for the platforms and the floor. Now for the floor and the platforms I'm going to sand one side just to take all the rough stuff off, because as ever it's the first cut rough timber. So there are little bits and pieces that could potentially splinter or stick out or just be uncomfortable. So I'm going to sort those out, cut them to length so that they're ready to fit as soon as the concrete is set and I can carry on building the shelter. So we've now got the kennel framework in place. We've set the feet into concrete. We've levelled it. We've put a sheet of OSB on the bottom. Now this isn't to support the dogs, this is to support the insulation. Across the top here there'll be planks of wood making a wooden floor. That would take the dog's weight. But just to stop any cold coming up through the bottom, we're going to fill that with the insulation. That will help there. We're then going to put OSB in the gap, insulation, and then wood cladding across the front. That'll go on the front, on the sides, on the back. On the top, OSB with insulation, then undulime, which is the same as we've got in the dog shelter, as a roof. The water will run off to the front. In time we'll put a barrel and a guttering, but I haven't got those yet. But the main purpose here is to get this built, insulated, weather tight, then it'll be ready for the dogs.
You say the back.
That's the floor panel done. So we've got the OSB underneath, the insulation, and then the floorboards on top. We're now going to do the back and insulate the back of that, and then we can go on to do the sides, front and roof. That's the back panel in place, which has the insulation stuck to the back of it, so that's insulated. It'll be enclosed and form a kind of cavity at the back once we put the roof panels on and the side cladding. So our next job is to put the two sides on, which we've got to cut out of OSB, put in position, and then we'll put the insulation in and the cladding on the outside. So yesterday we got to the stage where we had the floor in, the back wall in and insulated, the OSB for the side walls in. It started raining, so we then had to put the roof on, a bit of a change of plan. I was hoping to do kind of work upwards, but we've got the roof on. We're going to need another sheet of that on July because it's not quite wide enough, but for the time being we've got it on there just to make sure if it does rain it doesn't all get wet. So we'll crack on today and hopefully get most of it finished. I'm just finishing building the framework at the front here, which will be the two front walls leaving the doorway. There'll be a door in the front here. Once I've got that on, I can put the OSB into the gap, do the cladding on the outside with the insulation between the OSB and the cladding, and that'll be this finished, apart from the doors and the shelf. So that's all the OSB in place. Next job, insulation, cladding. So this is as far as we managed to get before bad light stopped play. We've got the cladding on the front and most of the side there. The other side needs doing. That'll just leave me the shelves inside and the door. The dog's having a good inspection, see what my work's like, see if it meets with their seal of approval. But I'll be finishing this off over the weekend, start of next week, and then they can move in. So I'm almost there with the new kennels. I think a couple of days more work and it'll be finished and they'll be ready to move in.
Yeah, hopefully we'll have that done by midweek. So temperatures are definitely falling here this week.
Yes.
We possibly could be lighting our petrika this week.
Yes, we haven't done so yet, and it's for almost halfway through November. That's pretty good going.
Yeah.
But it may be coming very soon.
Yeah, so we've got a few winterising jobs to do.
Yeah, but we'll talk you through those next week.
Yeah.
But I think for now, you're probably up to date.
Yeah, I think you're all caught up with us. So until next week,
Time to say,
stay safe.
be well.
Do skoro.
Do skoro. That was rubbish, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
That was rubbish. It's fair to say.